Are you guys ready for your next comic? Oh, please save me from this. Let's give it up. The wonderful Salina Johnson, everybody.
I don't think you lost him at all. Dead silence is what you want to hear, I thought. When sitting by a fire, there's nothing more comforting than a dead silence. I have made a tradition of bringing up my set with me since I've been here in Portland, which has been a week. Sort of a tradition I have. Because the weed is so cheap that I'm partaking in more of it, and I can't remember my set. So since I've been here, I've brought it up with me, and that seems to be fine. All right, but I do have one traditions joke that I had already before I knew this was about traditions, which I found out today that it was about traditions. But I do have a tradition. My family has a tamale tradition, obviously. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm Mexican. Yeah, thank you. Our tamale tradition is a little different than other Hispanic families because what we do is we order them from a restaurant, and then we put them in Tupperware and give them to all of our white friends and tell them that we made them. And so every year they're like, "Are you guys gonna make tamales this year?" I'm like, "My mom put the order in time." Yeah. So I just found out recently that where the place where bodies are cremated is called a crematory or a crematorium. And when I heard that, the first thing I thought was yummy. I've been accidentally intermittent fasting, which means that I wake up around 1 to 2 p.m. and then I eat whatever I want from 2 to 5. And then I go to sleep and do it all over again. But I haven't seen much success aside from the bags under my eyes. My friend called it heroin chic yesterday. I called it Jared Leto, Dallas Buyers Club. I'm kind of tired of the fast food stigma. I know in places like Portland, people probably don't eat a lot of fast food. I'm from LA, so that's what I'm made of, pretty much. I like to say that if I was ever in prison and on death row, my last meal before dying would be a sausage McMuffin and hash brown from McDonald's. But I think that I'd only be able to do that if my execution was before 10:30 in the morning. And I don't know if they'll let me pick my execution time. They're letting me pick my meal, so I feel like I could probably just shoot them a few bucks for my commissary to make it before 10:30. Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I'm Mexican 100%. Don't let the eyes fool you. Thank you. Well, yeah, okay. Woohoo, couple of boop, boop, boop. I grew up, or I still live in a pretty white area. It's not as white as Portland, of course, but lots of white people where I live, and I grew up there. So growing up, I mean, I don't know, I try to fit in with the Mexican girls, but they all spoke Spanish, and I didn't, so I was like, okay. So then I hung out with the white girls, but then I just started yelling at my mom a lot more. So I landed on the Filipinos. I was like, they got Hispanic last names and good food. I'm a pretty approachable person. I get a lot of people that just come up to me and say whatever they want, which can be really nice, but most of the time is kind of mean. Sometimes I'll get you look tired. Or oh, you look so cute now that you've gained a few pounds. My least favorite one is probably, ma'am, you're under arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol. I'm like, okay. They're like, you can barely walk. I'm like, that's why I was driving home. I know. Another way that I've found out that I'm also very approachable over the internet, doesn't even have to be in person. The other day I posted a picture of pretty much just my face, like a selfie, but like very zoomed in on my face. And somebody responded with thick. And it wasn't even spelled like with 2 C's. It was spelled like Thick. And I was like, do I have a thick face? And then I immediately was like, Alexa, add Spanx for my face to my Amazon list. Suck it all in there. I'm pretty involved in my neighborhood watch at home. I like to know what's going on to the point where, like, my friends and family, they're like, hey, we saw the police over here. Do you know what's going on? I usually do. Not to flex, but I usually know what's going on. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. Just, I'm like, you know, drunk driver, but everyone's fine. Nobody's dead. So I was pretty involved in my Neighborhood Watch Facebook page, but they recently removed me. Which I don't know why. I mean, I don't know what the qualifications are to even be involved, but most of the posts are like wildlife sightings in residential areas. Like, it's nothing interesting. It's never like a robbery or like this, that. It's like coyote on the corner of Elm and 5th. And I'm like, okay, I'll wake up at like 2 p.m. and someone posted this at 9 a.m. I'm like, where's the coyote now? Like, if you're not going to just tell me where it's at throughout the day, don't approve that post. And you know why it pisses me off? Because I got removed. Because some lady wrote a post saying, there's police activity in front of Burlington Coat Factory off of Arrow Highway. Does anybody know what's going on? And I commented saying, it's just Burlington now. And I'm like, that's funny. So I go back to see how like I killed that comment section, and I'd been removed. And I'm like, these are the rules? Oh, but Susan can tell me every coyote that's ever existed in my neighborhood, but I can't just make a little joke? Jesus criminy. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a good mother, which is why I probably won't become one, but I do like kids a lot. My mom said that kids like me because I'm always high and I'm like mentally on their level, which doesn't hurt my feelings, not really. You know, that's cool. But I don't know. They seem kind of cute, and they're always being like taken and snatched, so they must be pretty desirable if they're always being taken and stuff. Maybe these people are onto something. The reason I don't think I'm going to be a good parent, aside from the obvious ones, is I had a family party recently, and I let my nephew taste beer because he asked to taste it. And when I was younger, I remember my dad gave me beer, and I was like, oh, God, it's awful. I hated it. And then I didn't drink it again for like another 15 years or whatever. But I gave my nephew a sip, and he liked it. Yeah, but it's fine. He calls me from rehab every other week. We're still really close. Yeah, my dad gave me beer, didn't like it, now I love it. Speaking of my dad, he has a tradition himself of, you know, he thinks being gay is funny, or gay people are funny. And he has this thing where anytime, like, we're at a family party or barbecue or event and somebody's eating, like, a dick-shaped food, like a hot dog or a corn dog or popsicle, if it's, like, a guy in my family, my dad's, like, pulling out his phone and zooming in on the money shot of, like, the food going in. And he'll, like, send it in the group chat, like, look who I caught deep-throating this corn dog at the fair. Gay. And I'm like, Dad, the gayest thing you could do is have a photo album in your phone of men shoving dick-shaped foods into their mouths. Anyway, that's my set. You guys are so fun. Thank you.